What's going on, y'all? This is True Greatness coming to y'all from my YouTube channel, True Greatness. Um, so today I want to talk about kind of my feelings on the NBA playoffs, the first round of NBA playoffs. Now I know you still have Houston and the Jazz playing tonight, with a potential for Houston to close it out tonight. Same thing with Golden State and the Clippers, and Golden State has to close it out tonight. And then obviously you still have the Spurs and the Nuggets series going on. The whole East has already decided who's coming to the second round. But still, as a whole, I like watching the first round. As far as like, there's been some very intense series. Us, the Sixers versus the Nets was an intense series. I mean, the flagrant fouls, the ejections, the trash talking, the going back and forth, all that stuff. Close games, except for game 2 and game 5, which we handled those 2 games. And then obviously with Portland and OKC with Russ and Dame going back and forth, and them, and Dame just going off in that series. Like he was like, if y'all don't know I'm a superstar, or y'all put me on the fringe of superstardom, without a question, as this series, he showed Dame Lillard that he is a superstar. So yeah, the first round has been fun, for the most part, but it's also in some parts been a little underwhelming. Because I expected Boston and Indiana to go 6 or 7 games. Now, granted, those are sweet. Boston really had to fight for that. I mean, the first game was 84-74. Indiana had the lead in the first half and just couldn't score in the second half. Game 2, Indiana was up with by 4 or 5 with the last 2 minutes in the game, and just couldn't close it out, and barely lost that one. Game 3 was a close one, and then Game 4 was the game I would say where Boston pretty much controlled most of that game. As the one game in the series where it wasn't really as close as the score indicated. So there was a couple games where it could have went any which way. Thought that was going 6 or 7, and that was a series that I predicted, or I was guessing, I should say, for upset. That was the one series where I was like, okay, this is gonna be an upset. Indiana's gonna upset Boston, because Boston's been so inconsistent this season, but I was wrong on that one. But yeah, so far the playoffs, I think it's gonna get is going to be loaded as far as series are concerned. I mean, you got us versus Toronto. You got Milwaukee is going to play Boston. In the East, in the West, you potentially got, well, you have more than, or no, you're going to potentially have Houston versus Golden State in the second round. You're going to potentially have, you got Portland versus either San Antonio or Denver. To me, the more exciting series, possibly, I think, would be Portland versus Denver. But the Portland versus San Antonio would be, I still think that would be a good series as well. And this has been a very unpredictable season in a lot of ways. So I'm not even gonna. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna put it out there. I think Milwaukee's beating Boston, because I still don't trust Boston. Not because they don't have talent, it's just because they've been so inconsistent. As much as I'm a Sixers fan, it hurts to say this, but I know in 7. Because remember, I said it's Toronto versus Golden State in the NBA Finals. That was a video I did a while ago, and even when I redid it, I still said the same thing. So I gotta go with that. They just have more depth, and depth in the playoffs especially is huge. So as good as our starting lineup is, and it's very good, they got one heck of a bench plus a starting lineup. So yeah, I'm gonna say that, and then I'm assuming Houston's gonna win tonight and Golden State's gonna win tonight. So I'm going Golden State's gonna beat Houston in the second round. And then I think whether Portland plays San Antonio or Denver, I'm gonna go with Portland. And Golden State in the Western Conference Finals, and then obviously Golden State I think is gonna then win that conference finals and get to the finals against Toronto. Now, granted, I'd have Portland in the Western Finals, start of the year, but that's kind of where I'm seeing it, and that's to me that's gonna be the second round winners and who's gonna be in the respective conference finals. Um, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. And comment, you know, obviously view, other stuff is welcome, and you know, like I said, this is going to be quite an exciting second round. At least it should be. All right, God bless and thank y'all.